Hello and welcome to the show. Later we'll be joined by Sheila Halliwell, who's going to show us some really clever ways with the tiny stamps from the Papermania Home to Nest collection.
First of all, we've had this project sent in by Kitty Frampton. She's a Creativity Club design team member, and basically I sent the design team loads of beautiful products that we've just had launched, and I really wanted her to experiment with it and have a play, and she's come back with loads of beautiful stuff. But on this episode I just wanted to show you this bag that she's made. Isn't that gorgeous?
That's really lovely, isn't it? Very appropriately, it's gorgeous. Yeah. And that'd make a lovely gift bag for any occasion, really, wouldn't it? For birthdays. I wanted something like this just to sit on my craft desk, actually, to put all my bits in. Yeah, definitely.
Because it's lovely, and I think I'd find it really hard to give something like that away anyway. But I really love that, so I just wanted to show you what you can do with the gorgeous stuff. And don't forget, you can use your packaging as well, can't you?
Oh, yeah, brilliant. The packaging has got so many extra elements, so yeah, don't forget to use that as well.
Fantastic. Right, should we bring Sheila onto the show?
Let's.
Sheila, come on over. Hello.
Hello, Sheila.
Hello. So what are you going to be showing us today?
Well, today I'm going to be showing you some clever ways how to make some nice projects with some tiny stamps.
Some tiny stamps.
Fantastic.
Brilliant. Right, Sheila, should we get started?
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp some of the little stamps here, and these are teeny tiny stamps, and these are from the Papermania Home to Nest range. We also have some additional stamps, little birds and little birdhouses as well.
Right, okay.
To go with the collection. So I'm going to be showing how to make some flowers using the little bow stamp.
Right, okay. So we're aiming for this card.
We are, yes. As you can see here, I've used some papers and greetings, also from the Home to Nest range. Yeah. And then we've just cut an aperture and we've actually made some of these glossy flowers. So that's what I'm going to show you.
Fantastic, okay.
Okay. So to start off with, I've just got some of the Papermania red textured card. And I've got one of the Papermania black dye inks. What we're going to do is just ink up the stamp.
So these are really small, aren't they? Very detailed as well.
They are. They're really small stamps. But it's nice when you've got a set of stamps to look at it in a different way and see if you can, use it for other little embellishments.
Oh, we've got a reader's question. Kirsty from Cardiff says, what are your top tips for stamping?
Be confident.
Yeah.
Know that when you stamp it, it's going to go right. Don't have any negative thoughts thinking, oh, it's going to go wrong. Just stamp it. Have good cardstock, a good ink and a good stamp. Yeah. And have a practice. You know, it will go wrong from time to time. Mine go wrong as well. But, you know, being confident and having a little practice session first.
Because over the time that I've been doing this show, I've always had this fear of stamping, and if I can try and get away without doing it, I will.
Yes.
But part of my problem is the fact I was sat down trying to stamp.
Yes, yeah.
And I get told that it's better to stand up so you're over it to get a good impression.
Yes, and especially if, like me, you're short, sometimes, you know, your desk is high or the countertop is high.
Yeah.
So it's good to stand above. You can see that you're doing it evenly.
Yeah.
You know, and mix your stamps as well. Try stamping with clear stamps, try stamping with rubber stamps as well, because they do feel different. So what we've done now is I've actually stamped the flower like this.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is cut it out, and then I'm going to add some embossing ink and some clear powder to give it that glossy finish.
So this is great. So you've literally taken that bow that's on there, that piece of string that's on there, and you've gone like that.
Yes.
You've gone like that.
Yes.
And then you've done it from each angle as well to make a flower.
To make 8 petals. I mean, you could do it with 6. You know, you could probably actually do it a couple of times and build them up on top of each other and bend the petals in. But to get the glossy finish, we're going to put some embossing powder on, and then that will make them feel a little bit more chunky as well, a bit more substantial.
Fantastic.
Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to use some red pigment ink. What I've actually used here is clear pigment ink, and then put clear powder on, but I thought I'd try it with red pigment ink and put clear powder on just to see what effect we get with that. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stamp it first. So put plenty ink on there.
We love this bit, getting really messy.
Yeah, getting messy, red fingers. And then we're going to sprinkle some clear powder over the top.
So handy using these trays as well.
Definitely. That's one of the best things that we have here. Okay, and then we're going to take the heat tool, and I'm just going to use my poker tool, and I'm just going to hold that in the middle.
Yep.
When you put the first layer on,
Yeah.
You'll find that it goes quite, it's quite granulated in the way it looks. So,
right, okay.
But what you can do, the more ink you add and the more layers you add, you'll see the change.
Right, okay.
So what we'll do is we pop another layer on there now. That's cooled off a little bit.
So would you go for about 2 layers then?
Well, you can, I mean, sometimes I do 3, maybe even 4.
Really?
It just depends how much you want it to shine and how smooth you want it to be. So what we'll do now, just pop a little pearl into the middle, if I can catch it. There we go. We'll pop that into the middle there.
Oh,
and that will give us our little flower.
That's beautiful. So you just repeat the process.
Yeah.
And then you can
pop them around your aperture like that. Add different coloured pearls, gems, glitter, whatever you want to. And I've even glossed the tag as well.
You have, yeah. That is beautiful. Right, Sheila, so we've got another technique using the miniature stamps. What are you going to be showing us?
Okay, well, what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to use the 2 little garden stakes that you would put in your plant pots to label up your plants.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to turn them round and make them into a little fence and a gate.
Right. Fantastic.
Okay. So because we've got 2 different sizes, what I thought we'd do is if we use some brown ink onto the bigger stake, and then we stamp it with the point at the top, and we just stamp that like so, and then what we'll do is we'll do it again, and we're just going to make up a row to resemble a gate. Okay. So we would stamp for the gates I've put onto the little card. I've used 4 of the larger panels. And then what I've done is I've taken one of the artiste pens, a chestnut pen, and I'm going to pop a little dot at the top and at the bottom to make it look like it's attached to the little pieces of wood at the back that would hold it together. And then I've taken a white pen and I wanted to make it look a little bit like it's got a washed effect on it. So we're just going to do little areas of white, just do them randomly. So the next thing I've done is once you've cut the gate out, then I'm going to take my pokey tool and I'm just going to pop a little hole just here. I'm going to use one of our Paper Mania tiny brads and one of our little jump rings from our jewellery collection. So I'm now going to put the little jump ring actually in between the little prongs on the back of the brad.
Right.
And close those up and then pop them through the hole that we just made on our gate. So it makes it look like a little handle.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. And then we'll repeat that now with the smaller stamp just to make our fence. Eventually you'll have something like this.
Yeah.
And then all we need to do is just like we did before, pop our little dots on there to resemble the screws in the gate.
Yeah.
And then you have your fence like that. All you need to do then is cut it out.
Yeah.
And cut the length you require for the size of your card.
Fantastic.
To produce something like
and
we've got here.
Something like this.
And it works perfectly with the rest of the Home to Nest range as well.
I love this.
And just to make the little hinges on the gate, all you need to do basically is just take a couple of little pieces of card like that. And then you can bend them about halfway.
Right.
Tape that or glue it onto the back of there. Same with the second one, like that. So they're fairly even, and then that would attach to behind your fence.
Yeah.
So that then, because of the bend in the card, it allows you to open and close it.
Fantastic. And finally, we have technique number 3 with Sheila.
We do, and this time I'm going to do a really simple technique again using the little tiny stamps. We're going to use the length of string and also a little greeting that's in there that says just for you.
Right, okay.
So what we're going to do,
because these greetings are really tiny, aren't they?
They are very, very small, so you kind of have to stamp them first to see what they say, but they can be used on a bigger card. And what I'm going to do is show you how to create a little border. So if you're a beginner, this is a quite nice way to use the stamps.
Right, okay.
Okay, so I'm just taking some black dye ink and I've put the length of string along the block on a diagonal angle, and then I've added the just for you at the end.
Right, okay.
What I'm going to do is stamp this onto my card here, like that. So we just press it down. And then you can see we've got a nice straight line and the greeting at the end.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to change it round because I want to have the greeting here and here and here.
Right, okay.
Okay. Okay, so now what I need to do, because I want the greeting at this side here, I've got to change the stamps over. So I'm just going to wipe those clean.
Right.
So we don't get inky fingers.
Do you just use a baby wipe?
Just a baby wipe is fine, yes. Or just a damp cloth is fine too. Okay, so this time we're going to do it the other way around. And I'll just check those are straight. Like that, and then that will go on that way.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Oh, look at that.
And there we go, and they've got a nice simple border. And then if you want to, you can add colour with your pens, just inside the little rope section, just to lift it a little bit.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show, Sheila. I am completely converted. I'm going to have a go at the fence and the flowers for sure.
Great.
Thank you so much. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd love to hear from you. Do drop us an email at tv@docrafts.com. And don't forget, you do have to be a Creativity Club member to access all the step-by-steps of Sheila's makes. So thank you very much for joining us. See you soon.